Hello everyone, this is my first reading I will be posting on YouTube, so it is definitely your first time here if you're seeing this video as I am posting it, but I just wanted to come on. I felt called for quite some time now to be doing tarot readings and energy readings and just channeling for the collective of a certain subset of humans who I would consider myself to be a part of, who don't want to shy away from the darker side of our personality and shadow work, and who really take a lot of time to explore their inner darkness and integrate it, because as you all know, if you take the time to clear out all those blockages, it does make the rest of your time and experience much easier. I have reflected and meditated on your cards. I've shuffled and laid them out, and while I was setting out the spread, I kept having imagery of a very dark shadow being pushed out by a very bright light. And after dealing your cards, I can see why this image kept popping into my mind. So if we can start at the beginning, the first card that I've pulled for you representing your past situation is the Five of Pentacles upright. So looking at this card, it tells me that recently you may have been experiencing financial loss or a poverty or lack mindset. You may have felt isolated or worried about your circumstances. And I feel like this is a period that the collective has been repeating continuously for the last several years at least, but certainly even earlier this year, there was a similar period in my own personal experience that I feel like I'm handling differently this time. Time is definitely circular in certain aspects, and we do repeat lessons that we still need more clarity on. That's why shadow work is so important. So going back to the Five of Pentacles, you realized that you definitely needed to shift your energy and be more proactive and ask for more help rather than isolate yourself, because we see the next cards that you received were the Ace of Wands reversed and the Seven of Wands. So this here shows me that the collective understands that there's a need to reflect and trust in their own abilities, and you may have been feeling a lack of direction. The Ace of Wands shows an emerging idea, but with it being reversed, it can show that there are distractions or delays in the energy. So you might feel like you have tons of energy and you're ready to take on the world and put all these plans you have into action, yet you have no clear outlet for the energy that is coming through you, and that can lead to burnout, which you need to watch out for, because that leaves you unmotivated and uninspired once you have all that energy coursing through you and you don't have an outlet for it. So the Ace of Wands reverse is kind of telling us that you are realizing that you need to regroup and channel your energy And the Seven of Wands is actually showing that you may feel there are outside influences or something getting in the way of you finding clarity. But this is a card of a need to develop self-confidence, self-belief, constantly self-improve, definitely set some clear boundaries for what you will and will not accept from others in your life or from yourself. You know, a lot of our problems in life and our shadows can be overcome if we get really clear on the type of character that we want to show the world or how we want to turn up, just for our own, you know, self, how we see ourselves in, you know, if you take the time to really get clear on what type of person you want to be for yourself, for your kids if you have them, for, you know, strangers, even if you're a business owner, for your clients or customers. It's just character can definitely help you in all of those areas in developing the confidence, because you're acting in a way that aligns with what you want for yourself. It definitely makes you easier to see areas where you can improve in self-development. So the Seven of Wands is maybe a mindset that you have that the brighter you shine, the more trouble you will encounter. Maybe you've noticed this in the past. You know, for instance, if you have a social media channel or a YouTube channel, the more popular and the more energetic and, you know, really passionate about it you get, and the bigger you get, the more kind of adversity or trolls or hateful comments, like just people who don't know how to get to that place themselves, so they feel they will make themselves bigger by tearing you down. So you may have experienced that in the past, which is contributing to your energy being not directed in a manner that serves your higher self and your higher purpose. So the overall energy for this reading is actually the Sun, which is a card of positivity and warmth and success and vitality and finding your light. So going back to the initial image that I was seeing of the darkness being pushed out by the light, I feel that's where you are in your current space. You are realizing that you are in a dark period that wasn't serving you, and you have the newfound energy, especially with Mercury retrograde ending and a lot of retrogrades ending. You have this new energy to push forward, and it shows in the next set of cards that you received that you received the Page of Wands reversed and the Chariot reversed. So these cards are saying that you have all these newly formed ideas and you're trying to redirect your energy, but you may have self-limiting beliefs still. So these cards are kind of telling you to don't take any action yet. Just play with your ideas and let them grow. Look within yourself for answers and get clear with your intuition before trusting outside influences and outside input. And the Chariot reverse shows perhaps a lack of direction, going back to the lack of direction in the Ace of Wands reversed. It's just an extra message there that you may not have a clear idea of where you want to go. So the Chariot reverse can tell us that there's a need to redefine your reasons why you do what you do, or why you want to be the person you want to be, or where you want to live, or why you want the things that you want. What is your why? The Chariot reverse can also say that you need to reevaluate what in your life you can control and what you cannot control. There's a really good metaphor. I really forget who said it, but she is a very smart lady. But she said that you need to realize you're always juggling balls, and you need to realize which balls are plastic and which balls are glass. Which balls can you not drop? Those are the things that you need to focus on and try to gain control in those areas first. But definitely realize what you can't control, ask for help when needed, and learn what things you can drop, like which balls are plastic, which ones can you let fall while you're trying to define the core of the things in your life that if you were to spend your attention on them, they would just help everything else fall into place. So the Chariot reversed is a wake-up call to kind of reevaluate, redefine your reasons, figure out what you can let go of, and also to let go of the control of the outcome, to trust the universe, trust. That's why you need to get your inner beliefs and your shadow work through this cycle, because if you trust in the universe rather than second guessing everything, things will come to you a lot quicker and your path will become clearer, which is actually showing up in the next set of cards that I pulled for this story. So this would be what you were looking for. We actually had the Sun come up, another major arcana, and the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is creativity, charm, imagination, beauty, romance, being in touch with your intuition and emotions, living with your heart wide open. It's just vibrancy, and true imagination feeds on action though, so you need to you do need to not stay in this state forever of of shadow work and not having a path and just trying to decide. While you should take time, you will want to be moving towards moving a little further every day as you get more connected to your inner self and discover your path. You need to trust your intuition, learn to make decisions based on your feeling rather than thinking. And the Sun card lets us know that we should be expressing ourselves authentically. It's a card of invigoration and bursting with enthusiasm. So it shows that you're on the way to regaining your positivity. Just keep telling yourself, everything is always working out for me. Things aren't happening to me, they are happening for me. And all of the past struggles that you've been through, which you're currently working through, which you've found a renewed energy to tackle, you will be successful if you listen to yourself, work on yourself, trust in the universe. And remember, your intuition is your universe. It's your higher self, it's source energy. So when you tap into yourself and can quiet the thinking mind, you can let go of control and trust in the universe and bring yourself towards this success and vitality and light that you're seeking. So there is a card that did come up as sort of a little warning, just because perhaps in previous cycles you have fallen back on this pattern. We had the Page of Swords reversed come up. So that pattern would be acting rashly, acting before you're ready, haphazardly, kind of holding back and getting stuck in the shadow work. And it's kind of a card of all talk and no action. So you don't want to get caught up in the trap of acting before you're ready. So take the time to reflect and feel confident in your decision before you just start doing stuff. Yes, action is important, but action as a reaction is not serving you. So you need to separate your emotions from your reactions, separate the thinking mind from your plan for the future, and just go for that feeling. Don't get stuck in acting rashly or taking action based on a scarcity mindset. That could have been a pattern. And certainly with me, like earlier this year, I went through a similar cycle, and I did have this, it was all doom and gloom mentality. And this cycle round, I feel the exact same thing is happening pattern-wise in my life, but I am way more clear on how I'm moving forward. And it technically is even worse than it was before, but it doesn't feel like such a big burden because I've done the inner work. I understood where I was and where I wanted to go feeling wise, and it's making this cycle a whole lot easier. And that's all it is. And this will come up again, I'm sure, at some point if I haven't learned the lesson, if you haven't learned the lesson. And it's just our job to clear out the layers of negativity and past programming every round until that situation comes up and you're like, oh yeah, this again, and it's nothing. You just take care of it, because you have before and before. And technically with past lives we have done these things over and over and over, but you are obviously a person, even by watching this reading, you're a person who's aware of how everything sort of fits together, and the cycles of things, and how things repeat, and how energy just keeps coming around again until we learn how to attract things that are more aligned with the reason we came down here, which was to experience and have a good time. And it's actually interesting, the next two cards that came up, they just kind of fell out together, so I was going to read them together. You had the Death card and the Four of Wands come up, which is actually a really nice thing to see together. The Death card, just means endings and change, the end of a cycle, transformation, transition from one period to another. And the Four of Wands is a card of joyful celebration and blissful happiness. So, I do see this whole reading saying you were in a period in the past that may have been darker in the recent past. You are coming into all this new energy and deciding to make a change, yet you need to take some time, think about what you really want, redirect your energy in the correct way before jumping into action. But once you know where you want to go, and you will know that based on your intuition just screaming at you that this is what we want, then you can all you have to do is not get stuck in your head, don't act rashly, don't hold back, and you'll get to move towards your sun, towards your light. The light will push out the dark, and of course the dark is always there. It will always come back. You can't get rid of it completely, but it is good. It's a great tool for self-reflection, and it just makes life easier as you focus on those parts. But just don't get trapped up in them. Like, definitely realize the cycle you are in. Take steps to move towards a more blissful experience for yourself, because ain't nobody got time for drama. So you just need to take a deep breath, think about what you want, and move forward in love and light. And I think this is a good place to end this reading. This was my first reading ever, so I'd appreciate any feedback. I'd like to post more often, so any sort of comments or suggestions that you have, I'd like to make this channel a positive place where people can address the darker sides of themselves while still striving towards light and light aspects and being the best version of themselves. So if you like this reading, give it a thumbs up, and I would love it if you shared, left a comment. Much love to all of you, and I will talk to you very soon. Love and light.